AllBrands.com, and I have a very special guest with me today. Dawn Chase from Creative Appliqués. Welcome, Dawn.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here too because your designs are so gorgeous. I see you at a lot of shows that we attend together, where AllBrands is showing the Brother Brunina Juki embroidery machines, and you have your designs in your booth for Creative Appliqués. So I'm glad that we could team up for Christmas to inspire people.
Yes, exactly. It's one of my favorite times of year. I think probably I have the most amount of designs on my website for Christmas. So
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So just a few things that I wanted to let everybody know. So Dawn has a special on her site for you guys, but AllBrands also has specials on our site for you guys. So let's go over that just real quick, and I'll show you. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, if you see in the description underneath the video, there will be a link that says Shop Product, okay? And that will bring you to this page here. This has the video on it, but underneath the video, it will show you the two links here for Dawn's designs that she's going to be stitching out today. So we're going to be doing an earring set and a gift tag, and there's a coupon code in there that you can use on her website, Creative Appliqués, and that coupon code is going to be AllBrands20. Now, any of the supplies like machines and notions that you see Dawn using, we have below that here. Like I said, Dawn, you normally have your Luminaire with you, but today we have your travel machine because you're visiting your mother. So thank you for helping us on the go today.
absolutely.
And one more thing, everybody, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows it's not too late to buy yourself or your loved ones or your friends gifts from AllBrands.com for Christmas. So if you want to know what the specials are, you can hop on over to AllBrands.com. There is a big black bar on the top of the page that says click here for current specials and promotions. If you're not sure what to get, click this gift card banner. You'll be supporting a family-owned and operated business. So when you click that, you can see we have a giveaway for our next big show. And Dawn, you're going to be there, right?
I'm planning on it, yes.
Yes. I was hoping you would say yes. So EEM Biloxi, that's Everything Embroidery Market. We are going to be announcing the first round this Friday. That's tomorrow. So head on over to that page, click that link, make sure that you are eligible to win. Also, the Brother Holiday Gift Guide is still in effect until December 31st. Get tons of gifts and up to 60 months, 0% financing. Now, the financing does expire on the 20th. Today is the 14th. So you can peruse this page, see all of the wonderful manufacturers, promotions, and AllBrands exclusive specials on this page. Get yourself a Stellaire with the print moda and the scan and cut. We even have a machine that's very similar to the one that Dawn is using, the NQ3700, which is a great travel machine. This is an internet model, NQ3350W, and it's only $29.99. It just doesn't have the Disney. So make sure that you check out that page and take advantage of our specials. So Dawn.
Yes.
Tell us about your business and how you got started.
Well, so I started with embroidery back in 2007. We are retired military, and at that point in time, I had two young babies, and we were stationed overseas. And being stationed overseas, we were not allowed to be able to, as spouses, work. And so I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And so my mom had an embroidery machine that my dad had bought her like a decade ago, and it was sitting in the box in the basement. And so I asked my mom, I said, well, if you're never going to use it, then can I have it? Because it's technology and it's just getting older, and it's not increasing in value. All it's doing is decreasing. And so, my dad almost made me write a contract to swearing that I would use the machine if he gave it to me. So he gave it to me, and literally from the first stitch, I was hooked, or should I say hooped, because it was just like a match made in heaven. I never knew how much I was going to love it. And, I still have days where I sit there and watch the machine stitch and just like mesmerized, by what it can do. So anyway, that was back in 2007. And that's when I was sewing little birthday gifts and, shirts for my daughters and stuff. And so when we finally moved back to the States in 2011, I opened up my Etsy store where I started selling birthday shirts and anything customized, monogrammed, bags, beach towels, you name it, I was stitching it. But I started realizing really quickly that there were designs that weren't out there, and there were designs that were really good, and then there were designs that were not so good.
I always tell customers if they have trouble with the design, I was like, take a design from your machine, stitch it out, make sure it's not the design. So it's always good to get a design from a reputable digitizer.
Yeah.
Like
And so, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So anyway, I love computers. I loved embroidery. And so I got software and I just started tinkering with it. And I realized that that was my passion, was creating embroidery designs. And I love the entire process, from starting from the first step of trying to figure out how to make it and how it has to be built. It has to be built in the correct steps, in the correct order. And it has to be built so that, it has the fewest amount of thread cuts, the fewest amount of thread changes. And all of those things lend itself to a design that will stitch out quicker and faster, and so it increases. If you're doing this as a business, or even if it's as a hobby, you're going to have less waste, and you're going to have less excuse me, less time of having to change the thread color, have the machine stop for a jump stitch, or stop for a tie off, and then move somewhere else. Every time the machine does that, it has to slow down, tie off, trim, and then go to the next spot. And same thing with tying in and starting, and the machine has to speed up and slow down. And so the process becomes slower. I remember there was a design I got pretty early on, and it was just this cute, adorable little pig. And he looked like, from Charlotte's Web, this little pig looking up at a spider web. And the design had 50 thread changes. I'm like, there's only 3 colors in this design. How are there 50 changes in thread? And so that's one of the things I really take the time to make sure that the path and the way it is all stitched out is in the correct order. And so that's one of the things that I know a lot of times when people are brand new to embroidery, one of the things that they'll do is, they don't know that there's settings on the machine or settings in the software that might just color sort the design in the least amount of color steps. And that doesn't always work. That's not always the best thing, because if you take all the black and put all the black together, well, then the black of the eyes may stitch out at the very first step, and that's supposed to be on top of the applique material, and so there's definitely a steps and a process to the way a design needs to be digitized, and it's got to be done in the correct order. And so yeah, if there's a problem with the design, I suggest one of the things to do is look at the color sheet or the stitch order that comes with it. And if the stitch order says there's 21 steps, but you're only seeing 15 on your machine, you definitely need to look at where it got color sorted, and the steps were shortened and put together so that it made it appear like it's going to stitch faster, but then it's going to be all out of order. That was a really long answer to how did I get started.
No, it's so important, and people are chiming in the comments agreeing with you. It's so important to get a well digitized design. Before you get started with the
Yes.
holiday cheer that we're going to see, I did want to remind everyone that we are going to be doing a giveaway, but not just one, two at the end of this show. So if you comment hashtag AllBrands, you'll be entered to win a $25 allbrands.com e-gift card. So just type that into the chat. But Don's also going to be doing a giveaway for a second lucky winner. What is that?
Yes. It's going to be a $25 credit to my website. So if you're new to me, you'll be able to find something new and get something that you don't have. And or if you're one of my people that have been with me and a follower of mine for years, you'll still be able to shop and get a gift for yourself or even for someone else.
Yeah.
Some in the hoop design or something where you can stitch something out for a Christmas gift. So it's a
Mhm.
gift that keeps on giving.
Right. All right. Well, I'll let you show everybody, and y'all, I'll be collecting comments throughout the presentation. So ask a question, and we may just answer it live for you on the show.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's get started. Well, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your demonstration this evening, and for everyone who's tuning in. I value everyone's time, and I know everyone's time, especially at this time of year, is very limited. So to have the pleasure of you joining us today is truly an honor. So we will get to what we are going to do. So the first thing we're going to start with tonight is an In the Hoop gift tag. So these are for gift card holders. It's a gift card holder, and so essentially you can put in here some cash, you can put in here a gift card, you can put in here some little trinkets. These are even awesome. I had one person take these designs and stitch out 25 of them, and they actually made almost like an advent calendar where every day they stuck a little candy bar in there or a little candy cane or a treat, something like that, and it became their countdown to Christmas. So I thought that was awesome. So this is what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to do the one that says Merry Christmas, but we have a lot of these on the website. We have ones that say Happy Birthday and Congrats and Graduation and Thinking of You and um, anything that you can kind of think of for a special occasion. Hooray and Happy New Year and Happy Hanukkah we also have. So these are great. They stitch up really quickly, and it's a great scrap buster that allows you to use your scraps up really fast as well. So that is something that is awesome. We're always looking for those scrap buster projects. So let's talk about what we're going to need first to get started here. We are going to hoop some some tearaway stabilizer. So I have some medium tearaway stabilizer. And as Barbara's mentioned earlier, all of these, if you click on the link, if you're on YouTube, you click on that link, you can shop all the products that I'm using this evening. So that way you don't have to ask, where did I get it? So they have it there at the AllBrands website. So that's awesome. So medium tearaway stabilizer is what I have hooped here, and all of these gift card holders fit in the 4x4 hoop, which is awesome because it means just about any machine can stitch these, even the newer people who are newer to machine embroidery and may only have a 4x4 hoop. If you have a 5x7 hoop, you can also put two of these in the same hoop, so you can stitch multiples at a time. So tonight I'm going to be using some glitter vinyl here. This is just vinyl sheets that I used here. And so I need 3 of them, but you can use cork, you can use regular fabric. So if you're going to use regular fabric, you would take some Heat and Bond Light or some kind of iron-on adhesive sheets and put that. Essentially, you would put it on the back side of one of the pieces, and then you would take the 2 pieces and iron them together. So that's how you can use some fabric here. So this is the back that had cork, and we took some fabric and used some iron-on adhesive and iron that onto the cork. And you will see how we assemble this, because this is not, when you look at this, you go, how in the world is that going to be come out the way I think it's going to, and it's pretty cool how we have done it. So a hole punch. This is the hole punch that actually comes with the Brother machine. So there's that. Some scissors, some snips, and a rotary cutter, and a quilting ruler or some kind of straight edge that you can trim it. Now, one of the things that we did talk about and tried to get it to do this, but creative appliques on the road, it became a little challenging to get the scan and cut to come along with me. So you can, if you know how to, take an embroidery design and put it into your Brother scan and cut or your cutting software, your software for your cutting machine, and create an SVG file for your cutter to cut. You can do that. So that is an option to do as well. And it would just cut down on a few steps. But we're going to show you the old school way. I think I was watching Barbara a couple weeks ago, and she's like, we're going to do old school applique. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're doing old school applique, which means, anybody can do it. And then some ribbon to put on the in the hole, and then some tape. So you can use some tape. There is tape that AllBrands has. It's like a paper tape. Tonight I'm going to be using painter's tape only because it's easier to see on the camera. So that's why I'm going to use some painter's tape, because it's easy to see. And you can also use some like wash away temporary glue if you want to get these two pieces to kind of stay together when you stick them in the hoop. So if there aren't any questions right now, I'm going to get to stitching.
Okay,
so you see,
we did have a few comments that I just wanted to highlight. Mary from Vermont said this is her first time watching, so welcome, Mary. We're excited to have you. She said that she's excited to learn. And Laura Jankowski said, these would be perfect for a gift card exchange party I'm going to this Saturday. Yes, perfect gift idea.
Fantastic. Well, welcome, Mary. And yes, I think this is a great way to give a nice, lovely gift. One of the things that we also have is we have a whole set that has initials on them. So, if you are giving it to someone who their first initial or their last initial, you can stitch the initial on it as well. Like if you have a Secret Santa type of gift, and you can give them a personalized one as well. So that's something that's cool. The other thing is, because these stitch up so quickly, and I know it may be a little late right now, but as I mentioned, we have the ones with the alphabets. We also have the ones with other holidays. These are perfect to stitch up for craft shows and craft fairs. And it's something that, people will go, hey, I need a gift card and I need something that's great. And these are great for teachers. Also, like angel trees that they have at places where you can hang this on a tree with a gift card on it. And, if teachers come for a party and they're just going to take a gift card off the tree, this is a great way to have a decorative display of gift cards as well. All right, so I'm going to switch over to the machine right now, and we are going to stitch the first step, which I already stitched, but I'm going to stitch it again so that you can see how it works. Okay, I think that's caught. So we are going to stop here real quick. The thread got caught around the presser foot. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, I've had that happen before. Good eye.
Yeah, well, and then it just, then it's going to rip the stabilizer and pull it out, and yeah, it's just going to be hot mess. So
I wanted to say too that Rhonda Secrets is watching, and so is Karina and Joanne Banco, and a lot of fun, familiar faces.
Well, hey, Rhonda, I watched you last week. You did amazing. It's so much fun. Your coasters, and hi, Joanne. It's great to have you here. And Karina. All right, I'm just going to cut that. Okay, so now We are going to take the first piece, if you can see this here, we're going to do the white glittery here, and we're going to place it on top, covering all of the stitching, okay? So you just want to make sure you cover all the stitching. And I didn't print them out, but just so you know, you can, there is a PDF instruction that comes with this. There's a photo one, and then there's also the step-by-step stitch order that is also included. So now I'm just going to tape it down out of the way, and we're going to stitch the next step.
Melissa says sparkly! Exclamation point.
Exactly.
I love glitter vinyl so much, especially for Christmas.
I do too.
Aww.
All about that bling.
Joanne says that she loves hanging out together. Karina says, my chosen family.
Aww.
Good group. I love it.
Absolutely. Okay, so now that just stitched a diagonal, and we'll deal with that in a minute. But right now we're going to stitch the Merry Christmas and then the holly leaves and berries. So if you have some questions, this is a good time, because right now all it's going to be doing is just stitching.
Okay, so we don't have any questions yet.
Did everybody get in their hashtag AllBrands, no spaces?
Yes, let me put that on the screen again. This is going to let you win a $25 AllBrands e-gift card and also a $25 credit to creativeappliques.com. So let me just talk a little bit about the machine that you're using. This is a 6x10 embroidery and sewing machine. So it's the NQ3700. And it's a perfect travel companion machine if you have like a Luminaire or a Stellaire or an Essence machine that has these slide-on style hoops, because you can use the same hoops in this machine as the bigger models. And it's wireless, so you can use it with the new Artspira app from Brother and just utilize that to your heart's content. And it will also allow you to use Brother's design database transfer. That's a desktop program that allows you to save your designs on their software for Microsoft Desktop, preview it, and send it wirelessly to your machine. So cool.
Yes, it is. It's an amazing machine, and this is my travel machine. I really love it. I do a lot of volunteering for Quilts of Valor, and this is the machine I take with me when I go stitching for Quilts of Valor. But it's also great, as you mentioned, with the 6x10 hoop. That's a pretty large hoop for a machine that's this size that can travel. And so, you know, there's a lot of classes. If you like to take classes at your local quilt shop that are in the hoop embroidery classes, a 6x10 hoop is a really decent sized hoop.
Right. And sometimes designs, like certain in the hoop designs, you can't go lower than a 6x10 hoop, like for the bags and things like that. It's hard to find some designs for a 5x7 inch or 4x4 inch sometimes.
Yes. Very true.
Let's talk a little bit about your designs and what they come with, and like what the formats are, what the size options are, and things like that.
So it's going to depend on the design, obviously. If it's an embroidery design or an applique design, it usually comes in 4 sizes to fit the following hoops: 4x4 hoop, 5x7 hoop, 6x10 hoop, and then the 8x8, which is actually, the dimensions on the 8x8 are actually 7.5 by 7.5, but in the commercial world, they call the 8x8, they call it an 8x8 instead of a 7.5. So that's kind of what the difference is on that. And the formats that they come with are pretty much most of the ones that are for the machines that are sold, you know, so like DST and EXP, JEF, HUS, PES, I think I said that. Let me see.
All the
Okay.
formats.
All VP3, VIP, and XXX are the main ones. So the needle I'm using right now is a 7511, and I'm not sure if it's liking this vinyl right now, but you're going to get the idea. So, all right. So yeah, so that's what they come in for the most part. The majority of my designs do have 4x4, unless it's something that, will not look good in that size or can't fit in that size. Like you mentioned, like in the hoop projects, not all in the hoop projects can be done with a 4x4 hoop. And then we have lots of embroidery fonts as well. So those are not hoop specific. They're just individual designs that are embroidery designs that you bring into software and merge them together. So now I'm going to change the thread to green, and I'm going to stitch the leaves.
How long did it take you to learn how to digitize embroidery designs?
Years.
Yeah.
So, and that's it's the truth, because of the fact that I started pretty much playing with and digitizing designs from the beginning when I started stitching. But I didn't start selling them until 2013, because I'm a perfectionist. So I was not going to sell something that I did not believe in 100% that has quality and all the things we talked about earlier. So
here's a question from Karina. She asked, as a digitizer, can you explain why people should not shrink a design to fit their hoop?
how long do you have?
Oh.
Just kidding. So one of the things about shrinking or enlarging a design is it changes the stitch quality. And I know that there's lots of software out there that says that it will recalculate the stitch count, and it will, if you're enlarging it, it'll increase the stitch count. And if it's shrinking it, it'll decrease the stitch count. The problem with that, though, is sometimes the softwares have built into them that they're going to remove short stitches, or they're going to remove what's called a hidden stitch. And there's a problem with that, because a lot of times when you take a design, say it's 4 inches, and you shrink it down to 3 inches, and then the software says, I'm going to remove those hidden stitches or those short stitches, there's going to end up being gaps in that stitching. Because even though the software says I could fill that in, or I can make it be what it's supposed to be, it's not always the case. So, the rule of thumb always has been, do not increase or decrease greater than 20%. But I also warn that it depends on the type of design. So on this one, for example, we just stitched the holly leaves, and it's done in what's called a sketch stitch, which means it's light and airy. It's not super dense. And it means that you can see the material underneath it that is still showing through. So when you take a design like that and you shrink it down, and the software goes, I'm going to remove some of those short stitches or hidden stitches, what ends up happening is you have gaps. And then there's areas that don't get stitched over. And then you go, what kind of horrible design is this? And so That's one of the things that, it's a great question, Karina. Thank you for asking it. It's one of the things that's really, it's really hard to teach people that that they have to definitely do a test stitch. Test when you go ahead and alter the design in any way.
This is so cute. Oh my goodness. I love it. And so does Melissa. She says, Dawn, your designs are amazing. I absolutely love them all.
Oh, thank you so much, Melissa. I appreciate that.
Here is a question from Shelda Schimmel. Are there BX fonts?
Yes. So all of my fonts come with the BX format, and that, for those of you who don't know, BX format is specifically solely used only with embrilliance, and it's to be able to take the file and create it into a, it allows, it's not a machine format. It's not a format that your embroidery machine will read. So it doesn't matter what machine you own. You can bring the BX format into embrilliance, but when you bring it into embrilliance, what it allows your computer to do is take your computer keyboard and type out a word like hello, and it creates the word. And so instead of opening the H and then opening the E, copying it, going back to the H, pasting it, opening the L, copying it, going back and pasting it, and then aligning all of them and spacing them all out correctly, it allows all of it to be able to just come in as a word. And so it's a great time saver. But yes, all of my fonts come with the BX format. All right, so we stitched out this part, and now we are going to see how good my cutting skills are. Don't look too closely. Okay, so now what we need to do here is essentially we are going to cut along the diagonal for this top part, but we are not going to cut through.
Are you a lefty too?
I am, and so
we talked about that last week. That's so exciting.
Yes, I am. So I'm going to cut about a good 1/4 of an inch. Now I'm being very careful not to pull on the stabilizer and not to cut through the stabilizer because we are not done yet. So
it is so funny. I love
that. So that's one of the things this is the step that needs to be done right now, because if you don't do this right now, you're going to essentially just stitch the entire thing closed. All right, so now we trimmed that, and we are going to take the 2 back pieces that we talked about earlier, and what we are going to do, so I have 2 pieces of vinyl here, and we want, okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to put these 2 pieces together, and whatever is going to be put down closest onto the back side of the stabilizer is what is going to be seen right here. Okay, so follow along with me. So I'm going to take these 2 pieces here and I'm going to flip them over. Okay, and if you have that hot, iron-on adhesive, you would put that on one side, put the right sides out, the wrong sides together, and you would iron that. So then they become a sandwich and the 2 right sides are out. Because this is vinyl, I don't really want to do that. So, and I don't really need to do that. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to do a little bit of temporary glue here to kind of just essentially just stick them together just so the holds together. Okay, just like that. And now I'm going to take my hoop and I'm going to turn it over. So now I'm on the back side of the hoop. So this is the side I want to be showing up. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it down and I'm going to cover all the stitching. I'm going to put it on top of the stitching, all covering all of the stitching on the back side. So the red is the right side closest, laying on top of the stabilizer, and I have the right side also of the white sparkly here on the outside. And I'm going to tape it down, because then when we get to the machine and we stick it on the machine, we want to make sure it's not going to curl and do all that fun stuff that we really don't need it doing. And you won't normally get much curling with something like the vinyl, the glitter vinyl like this, because it's, it's pretty beefy. It's got some texture. But if you're using something that's not as thick, I mean, you could definitely use felt. You could use, as we talked about, the cork. You can use fabric that's treated with some starch or some like Terreal Magic as well. So there it is on the back side, and it is taped down. So now we're going to go back to the machine, put it back on the machine, and finish the last step. So now one of the things, in the interest of time, I'm not going to do it, but also I have a white bobbin in there and I have white glitter. But this is the time, if you wanted to, you can change the bobbin thread to match the top thread, because since it will be seen now, you will have you can have matching thread for the top and the bottom.
Yeah. And since it's not like a satin stitch or a letter that's dense on top, it's just going to be a running stitch.
Yeah,
That's
it's
always
gonna,
fun.
yeah, it's going to be like a triple bean running stitch. And so now we are going to do that.
The reason why they have the special bobbin thread and embroidery designs is whenever there's like a satin stitch that's very dense on top.
Yes.
Hold all of that together.
Yep. So one of the things you see is I'm using my stiletto here. This is my travel stiletto. I usually have a different one, but to hold this down right here as the presser foot goes over it so it doesn't get caught. So it's one thing to be aware, to watch that as it goes so it doesn't get caught on that spot. But essentially you just have to watch it, because the first step is it's just a running stitch around, and then it does the triple bean stitch or the triple stitch around it. So it's pretty much held down at that point in time.
Right. So April needs a little confidence. She says, in the hoop project still scare me. You can always slow your machine down, April,
Yes.
if you want to do that. But you can do it. We have faith. We believe in you. And no one's perfect. So just remember those things.
And remember, it's always the first time is the most scary and the most challenging. So get the fabric that's just scraps. Get the fabric that you don't really care so much about and use it. Play with it. So now this is the last step. It's going to be the whole. All right, so now it's finished. Yeah, the longest part was explaining what to use and talking about all the parts and pieces that we need as opposed to, stitching. So that's the great thing about these. And like I said, when you put them a whole bunch, if you have a larger hoop and you put a bunch in the same hoop, then you've got a bunch that you can stitch out all together and, go really fast. All right. So here we are now. We have this, and we can't get in here because it's stitched. This top part is stitched to the stabilizer. So that's done on purpose. It's not a mistake. So if you take an owl or a stiletto or something that you have and just get it under that stabilizer there, and you pull it.
Oh, remind us what stabilizer this is again.
This is a tearaway, and it's a medium tearaway.
Okay. So Rhonda said something really cute. In the hoop designs are kind of like potato chips. You can't have just one.
No. Once you start, I swear, it's like it becomes so almost addicting. And just like potato chips. Yes, just like potato chips. So there you go. Look at that.
Oh,
so now
so I love the glitter.
That's the inside. And we just, use your snips or your stiletto to get that out, or tweezers works great. So pull that away. And now the thing that I like to do is I'm not, you see these people do all these amazing running stitch designs, applique designs, and they're just absolute perfection. And when they trim with their scissors, that's not me. I cannot do that pristine. I admire the people that do that trimming that, with scissors. They're just, cutting around the running stitch applique design. So right now I like to use my ruler to be able to just cut, and you can choose the distance that you want, right? Like there's no it doesn't, you can have it an eighth of an inch. Right now I'm doing an eighth of an inch. You could do a quarter of an inch. You could do what you think looks right.
Joanne says rotary cutting is the way to go. I love rotary cutters too. We also have electric scissors on our website. They're called the WBT1. And I had no idea how amazing these things were. I had to cut, I wanted to cut a huge thing of batting. So I ended up folding it so that I had 8 layers of batting. I took the electric scissors, I cut it right up, and I had my full quilt ready to go.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing.
That's insane. Okay, so now I'll show you on the back. But one of the things you could do too is, I forgot because we were so busy chit-chatting away and visiting, to pull up my bobbin thread. So essentially when you do your first stitch, you just let the needle go down and then the needle come back up, and you pull on the top thread, and it brings up the bobbin thread, and then that way you don't get these little knots here. Anyway, there's this circle right there, if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just use, any kind of hole punch you have. You can use scissors. I just kind of use my hole punch here that came with my machine. And then, let's see. And then I kind of like to get my little owl and kind of make it a little bit bigger. You could do a bunch of, you can use the owl and do a bunch of the punch it a bunch of times, multiple times, to get a larger hole.
Can you guys hear the shipping truck coming? It's beeping. Sorry about that. Shipping out orders for Christmas.
I love it. Okay, so this is a little thick, this ribbon, but and I don't have my forceps with me. It's one of the things I love to use in situations like this, are my forceps. Or my tweezers. All right, I might not take up much more time on this. I'll work on this when the earrings are stitching. So there you go. There's the gift card holder right there. And you can see how we did that, so that now you did it all in the hoop. And you can also, pull more of the stabilizer away as you need to as well. There's the gift card holder. So simple, fast, easy, scrap buster, and it makes a great impact on a gift. So see, this is the sketch stitch design I was talking about, how you can see some of the glitter vinyl underneath it. And if you take a design like that and you shrink it down, you're going to end up with gaps in the stitching, and you're going to wonder what happened. So that's one thing to be aware of.
We have Oh So Cute and Easy. This is charming. How very nice. These are adorable. Very good. I can't wait.
Yay. Well, I love making them. They're fun. They're easy, and they're fast, right? Like you're like, oh, like I need a gift in 10 minutes, and literally, like, this is the fastest thing that you're going to stitch up. So Do we want to go on to earrings, or have we had
Yes.
enough?
Let's do it. Let's show
Okay.
the earrings.
All right. So we are. Do you have a photo? I forgot to grab them.
Let me pull up the.
Well, I'll tell them the supplies we need for now. And
Yeah,
while
pull up
you're
the
finding
photo.
that, it was in the promo photo, but I forgot to
Yeah.
grab them before we came over here. So again, 4x4 hoop friendly, which is awesome. And actually, with these earrings, you can get multiple in the hoop. We'll be stitching 2 because we have 2 ears, but you can get you can get multiple sets in one hoop. And so the design comes, I think, with 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and 2.5 inches. So depending on the size that you're stitching, you can get several in the hoop. So
Here
we are
they
going
are,
to
Dawn.
use,
These
yes,
are the earrings. So
yes, that's
cute.
what we're stitching. Little Santa belt earrings like that. Okay, so this is the mesh wash away stabilizer. So I know it looks like, the poly mesh stabilizer. It is the wash away. So the reason being is you can use a tear away if you want. You're just going to have to work a little harder to get that um, stabilizer out between the seams. So that's one of the reasons why you can use a mesh wash away like this. And then we're going to use some more glitter vinyl. And this is another great scrap buster as well, so that you can stitch up a bunch of these quickly too. And so this is glitter vinyl we're using. And then we need some earring findings. We'll show you those in a minute. And then some jewelry pliers or needle nose pliers and embroidery thread, 7511 needle, some snips, a hole punch again, and your painter's tape or your paper tape to sew it down, hold the vinyl down. So let me
I
load
wanted to
the
answer a question really quick because Marilyn asks, is this
please.
pattern or design available? Yes, absolutely. Dawn is the creator of these from Creative Appliqués. And here is your coupon to use on her website for 20% off. And if you click the shop products link in the description of this video, it'll take you to the specific designs that she's stitching out today. Good question. Okay, go on.
That's perfect timing because I'm over here changing out the thread. And so the other thing I forgot to mention that we're going to use too is King Star metallic thread for the Santa belt.
Yes,
And
we have that on allbrands.com. It is fantastic. I love it so much.
it is the only metallic thread I use. And it is just amazing. And I have also used it in my bobbin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
For freestanding lace, I have used it before, and it works well because it's a polyester core wrapped with metallic. So it has the strength of a polyester thread.
Yes. Yes. All right. Any other questions, or they can keep asking questions? I'm just going to switch over to the machine and get stitching so that, but we are happy to answer more questions. So the first step is just going to be the placement stitch of where to put down the vinyl.
Okay, let's see. Here is one from Dorothy Privet. She says, for me, it's been years. And when we were talking about digitizing earlier, she says, I've digitized photo stitch of my grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Thought that was interesting.
Wow.
Very
That
cool.
is, photo stitch is absolutely amazing. It's just, that's remarkable to me. It really is. That is just so much fun to see something like that come to life. All right, so we stitched the placement stitch right there. Okay. And now we're going to take some vinyl and we're just going to put it on top of covering all the stitching and outside of the stitching so that when we stitch down again, it is going to be covering and extending outside of the stitching. But the next thing that's going to stitch is the Santa belt. So it's not going to do a placement stitch, and that is because if we do a placement stitch around the vinyl and then we go back later after we put the back on of the earrings, it is going to become hang on a second. I think I have a bobbin issue. I see a lot of white going on over here. Yeah, I'm going to stop it a second and I'm going to cut it and I'm going to rethread. It doesn't look right to me. Maybe it's just the shine from the glitter. But I'm just going to rethread anyway, just to be sure.
Hey guys, if you haven't yet, please be sure to comment #AllBrands to be eligible to win a $25 AllBrands gift card and also a $25 credit to creativeappliques.com. I think the red vinyl might be stickier than the other ones.
Yeah. And you know, it's definitely showing some white. It could just also be too that there's friction with the presser foot.
Right. Yeah. So if we had more time, we could also raise the presser foot height.
Yeah.
On the machine.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why it's showing that the white. Maybe I'll stop it here on the next one, and before it goes to the next one, and just redo the bobbin just to make sure. These are pre-wounds. These are brother pre-wounds, so it's definitely not a bobbin winding error.
So one trick, if I ever have bobbin thread that shows up through the top,
yep.
Sometimes I get a Sharpie marker and
yep.
color it. Have you done that before?
Oh yeah. Yep. That's an industry secret.
I don't know. It works so well.
Oh yeah, it really does. It really does. Yep, the Sharpie, or even fabric markers as well, or the micron if it's like a super tiny little spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have black pre-wound bobbins as well.
They do. They do. Yes.
Have you ever used black stabilizer?
Yes, I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have. I've used black stabilizer. It just, if you're doing a dark item, it really helps to be able to have it so that you're not going to see the stabilizer underneath it. There we go. Like, why is that so low? All right. Let's start. Okay. There we go.
I'm thinking, Dawn, if it's sticky on top of the stabilizer, you could always float some topper on top.
Yes, the really thin water-soluble stabilizer. Absolutely.
Jenny's laughing at me. Do not tell anybody that I Sharpie sometimes.
It's like, shh, trade secret.
Trade secret, guys.
That's what you pay us the big bucks for, to find that stuff out.
I'm sure Rhonda has some secrets too.
Oh, yes.
Rhonda, tell us all of your secrets, please. Here is one from Stephanie Boyk. She says, I have been wanting an embroidery machine. So I guess she doesn't have an embroidery machine yet. That's very exciting, Stephanie. Well, wow. I know where you can get one. You can get one from allbrands.com.
Yes.
Rhonda asks, what machine is Dawn using today? So she's using the equivalent to the NQ3700D Brother sewing and embroidery machine, which is what makes it such a great travel machine, because it's a smaller size than her Luminaire at home, and it uses the same hoops.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why after I got my Luminaire and I wanted a travel machine, I did go with the Brother, because of the fact that I could use interchangeable hoops, all the as long as it fits on this one. So for example, like AllBrands carries the dime magnetic hoops, and so I could take my magnetic hoops and use those on this machine.
Right.
All right, now we're not even wanting to like thread. The machine's like, yeah, I was done at the gift card holder.
It's very cute. Let's see if we have any questions.
Yes.
Oh, Anne says, Dawn doesn't live too far from me. I love learning from her.
Yes,
Have
and
you
we
met
found
Anne?
that not in person. We need to meet. We've seen each other a lot online on like the Dime events, and she's come to my lives, and I think she lives in about 20 minutes away from me. And I think I remember hearing that she has a long arm machine. So I think I might need to like meet Anne in person someday.
Oh my gosh, I love the little belt buckle. It got a little blurry for some reason, but I can see, yeah, there we go. It's so cute. Okay, here's Rhonda's tip. You ready?
Yes.
I use black stabilizer all the time in my shop. Tip, sometimes it rubs onto the machine bed and those little white scubbies get it off. Oh, those little,
Yes.
the
Magic
cleaning,
erasers.
yes, very cool.
Yes.
Thank you, Rhonda. Pro tip.
Wow. That is awesome. That is a great tip. All right, so now we did that. So there's the belt buckles. There's the belt itself. And now we're going to take it and flip it over and tape down this side of.
I'm glad I'm watching you do this because I would be scared that the vinyl would stick to the bed of the machine. Has that ever happened?
Don't jinx me now.
Oh,
thanks.
sorry. Well, you did it on the last one and it did fine. So nothing that some water soluble topping won't solve.
Yeah, I guess we just did that. We just did do that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, and it did do fine. Okay, the only thing is sometimes you gotta watch that you can hear the tape rolling
Right.
up.
Mm-hmm.
So it just rolled from here. And then when you get to stitching, that's going to be rolling around under there. And all right.
We're roughing it today because we don't have all the supplies. But
that's on the road.
You had to see your mother, and we're happy to have you on the show today. And we're gonna make it work. And I'm happy that we could, still meet with you on the
yes.
line.
I'm so grateful I was able to still be able to be on the show and see my mom. But hey, you get to see, on the road, like
right.
This is winging it.
I love this. I could do these for all my friends so we can have matching earrings.
Yes. All right, there we go. That is finished now. And we do not have a circle here. And I did that on purpose because of the fact it's going to depend on what kind of findings you're going to use for your earrings. So the ones that I'm using here, it's just a little clasp. And so I'm going to poke a hole and then put this in and just essentially squeeze it. But if you're using just this top part of the earring and then putting a circle on the earring itself, you might want to have the hole a little higher up or a little lower down. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't put a circle here, because to leave it open to whatever kind of finding you are going to be using for your project. So as I mentioned, this is the water soluble stabilizer that we're using. So I'm going to start trimming. Okay, we need to cut now.
Somebody used those fabric scissors on paper. I can see it now.
Yeah. Well, they're also right-handed scissors.
Oh, that's why. That's exactly why.
Yeah, I started using left-handed scissors a couple months ago, and now I'm like, I can't use right-handed scissors, are now challenging for me. So just trim right up like that to get that. All right. So now so you can see if you use tearaway stabilizer, you'd be cutting this, and then you can go in here if you wanted to and pull it out. It's just an extra step. But with the wash away, you can't even see it because it's so thin. So if you wanted to, you really didn't even you don't even have to wash it away if you don't want to. But it's so thin that it's not really going to matter. All right, y'all, don't judge my cutting skills because this is not my strong point.
We just don't want to make everybody feel bad about their cutting skills.
Exactly. So, all right, so there's that. And now one of the things that I like to do, so you can see I went ahead and trimmed in the teardrop shape. But one of the things I do with the top is I cut it off flat, so there's less area there between the clasp and the hole that I'm going to put there in a minute.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want that rubbing on your earlobe all day.
Yeah. Or, I mean, the other thing is it's going to get stuck around the part of the earring. And so it's going to constantly be like getting caught up on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to be weird.
It's so amazing that I would never have thought when I started to do embroidery to make earrings. It's so amazing that what our creative community comes up with.
Yes. Well, and then, you know, using freestanding lace as earrings, but also making them into ornaments for Christmas trees. And, you know, even like kind of like a sun catcher kind of thing. So taking some mylar and putting it in a freestanding lace design. And then that way you can, you know, hang it in a window and have it there all year and be like a sun catcher. So you see how that part there is really long? Here, let me poke this hole here. Actually, so I'm just going a bit below the stitching. And get my awl here, make sure it's poked out. Just trim just a little bit more here. And now when you take this has the claw teeth here. I don't know if you can see that very well. And make sure you have it in the correct orientation. And then just put that in the hole there like that.
Oh, voila! It's so cute. Oh my goodness.
How fast was that? That was like 5-minute project.
Oh my goodness. We could whip these up really quick for Christmas. And we
Oh
don't
yeah.
even have to leave the house and get stuck in traffic
Oh
to
no.
do it. Right? Let me know in the comments if you have gotten stuck in traffic this December.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
been a little crazy. I don't want to leave my house.
Yep.
I love my house. Why would I want to leave it? And I could just make all my presents.
Exactly.
Win-win.
Well, and I don't know. I just feel like a gift that you make yourself personally, just it you just have so much pride when you give it to someone. It's not like, "Here, I went to the store and bought this for you." Not that there's
Right.
anything wrong with that, right? Like, I mean, there's definitely stuff that, we can't make, and that's understandable, but there are definitely things that you can do, like this, that you
So
go,
cute.
I made that. We also have earrings just like this with initials. So you can get the ones, and if you're giving, earrings for Christmas to all your friends, you can do their initials, which is really cool as well. And
Judy
there we go.
says, that is so pretty. Rhonda says, I love those. So cute. Nancy says, so cute. Allison says, adorable. Elizabeth says, oh my gosh, so cute. Nancy says, cute. And Anne says, yes, they are very cute. She was the first one. Oh, this is
Anne and we're tight. She's my neighbor. She's got my back. Yeah, I can't get. I need to get the hole bigger, or I need to use the thinner ribbon works better, like this thinner stuff.
Oh,
But I thought
yeah.
this was the thinner stuff when I was running out of my house, and it wasn't. So anyway, the thinner ribbon works better, or you can just poke, larger holes in it, and there you go.
Wow. Wow. So if you guys are interested in these designs, you can either click shop product in the description of this video to see everything that we showed today. So it'll show underneath the video the links to these designs and a coupon code that you can use on Creative Appliqués website. And underneath is the machines and the supplies that you can purchase from allbrands.com. And here's that coupon code again, allbrands20. Ah, Dawn, you're amazing. You're so creative.
Oh, thank you.
What a
I love
great
it. I have
show.
fun. I have the best job in the world.
Right? Me too. I'm like so lucky. And to hang out with you every week. It's so
Yes,
lovely. Diane said.
absolutely.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Joanne says tapestry needle will help.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I get back home, I'll grab that and
Yeah.
get it through the. My forceps work really well too.
We did really good for roughing it. I can't wait to have you on the show again.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing lives. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love connecting with everybody, and I love, learning from everybody, even as I'm doing lives like this. Like, I've learned so much just from connecting with everybody, and everybody giving their inspiration too, and talking about what they do and how they do something. And so, yeah.
Right. Well, we're about to do our giveaway, so if you haven't yet, go ahead and comment hashtag AllBrands to be eligible to win. And why don't you tell the watchers where they can find you and follow you, Dawn?
Yeah, so you can find Creative Appliques on my website. You can find Creative Appliques on Facebook. I have a Facebook fan group, Creative Appliques Fans. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel for over 8 years now, and I do lives like with Barbara, and I've done some with Joanne Banco from Let's Go Sew with Joanne Banco. And I love doing the lives. And so, yeah, you can find me. I also have videos there that I've uploaded kind of like to tips and tricks, ideas, ways to make machine embroidery easier, more fun, more economical, but also to, I guess my main goal is to give you confidence to be able to tackle some projects that you had no idea, like Barbara said, that we can make earrings on our embroidery machine. Like, give you ideas and ways to do things, but to make you feel confident that you can tackle it. And it's not insurmountable. Like, holy cow, this is a little gift card holder, and look how fast it's stitched up.
And AllBrands is here to provide you the machines to make that possible. And we fully endorse, and I know you love the Brother embroidery machines. We are we sell a lot of other brands as well. But so this was the NQ3700 that you were stitching on. That's actually a dealer only model. So I'll just put up on the screen our store locations. So we have 5 stores in Louisiana and 2 in Texas. We're hoping to have more in the future. But that's where you can buy
Virginia.
30, I know. That's where you can find the NQ3700D. But if you're interested in an internet model, if you're in Virginia, let me show you again this really great deal that we have for Christmas. So if you go to allbrands.com, it's the NQ3550W. It's the equivalent of what you were stitching on today. It doesn't have the Disney though. And but it's a fantastic machine, just a little different of a model number. So this one you can purchase online. And if you haven't yet, please go ahead and give us a like on this video. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and follow us on YouTube and Facebook. And we have a Facebook group called Sew Forum, so we'd love to see you there. Well, you ready to do a giveaway?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right. Okay, I guess the first one that we'll do is the AllBrands gift card. And then we'll do yours. Okay, so our winner for the $25 allbrands.com e-gift card is Socorro Bach. Oh my gosh, congratulations. I haven't seen her win before, so that's really cool. Please email me at events@allbrands.com to claim your allbrands.com e-gift card. I'll need your name, number, and address, please. All right. You ready for this?
Yay, let's go.
Do it again. This is for the Creative Appliqués gift card. I have a little drum here. Create suspense. Kathy! Yay, Kathy! Please email me and I'll send it to Dawn at events@allbrands.com, so that you can get your credit to her website. Thank you, Dawn, for coming on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being here, and thank all your viewers for allowing me the opportunity to hang out with them, and hopefully they've learned something new and have the confidence to go sew something fun and new and exciting and fast.
Right. Well, we love y'all so much. Please stay safe, be creative. It's really good therapy, especially at this time of year. So we love y'all so much, and we'll see you next Thursday at 3 o'clock, 3:30. Love you. Mwah. Bye.